observatory I was referring to, is the fact that the pump of putting the fuel through to the for ignition caused that pop each time the spark plug went. So it became a fairly distinctive sound, a bit like a bug. And I think that's probably where we get the doodlebug catchphrase from. But in terms of devastation, I mentioned earlier that it was really a devastating weapon. It could cause a crater at least 8 feet deep, 200 to 400 feet across. But what it did do is bring a new terminology. The British public had coined the phrase Blitz during the 1940s and 1941. So this new attack on the island became known as the Mini Blitz. So I suppose that they, in many respects, they hark back to the 40s and 41s. Yes, here we are, here we're going through it yet again, but with a new weapon. So, having all that information now in the intelligence picture, what are the British going to do about it? Well, they developed Operation Diver, fairly simple countermeasures. We have across the southern part here, the English Channel was patrolled by fighter aircraft from the Royal Air Force. Then as we move nearer towards Greater London, in the blue marked area, we have anti-aircraft batteries, i.e. they're there to shoot down aircraft or V1s. And behind that was a belt of barrage balloons. The idea was to protect London. Winston Churchill's wish was that no V1 was going to hit Greater London. He didn't want morale being undermined, because as you realise, by 1944, the Allies are back in Europe. They're back on the shores of France and Normandy, and they're advancing through towards Belgium and beyond. However, a small problem arose, in as much that pilots of the Royal Air Force, a lot of them were actually being re-rolled very, very quickly, because they were preparing themselves for invasion. They were flying effectively fighter-ground attack aircraft to support the invasion in Normandy. So they were flying along the English Channel there. Once they found a V1, they would pursue it. However, the problem rose because they carried on into the blue area, so therefore a lot of the anti-aircraft guns were actually firing upon the Royal Air Force